It's worth exploring the idea of Soma and Agni. The nakshatra of Soma and the nakshatra of Agni are placed right next to the nakshatra of Prajapati on the sequence of the 27 nakshatra. Prajapati is the creator, and Agni and Soma are two major principles that assist in the creation process. So let's explore this idea a little bit more. Agni and Soma are considered to be complementary principles. And the best way to understand this is Agni is the energy which is in an enclosure, which is in a more compact form, which is more intense. And when the same energy is spread out, dispersed, that principle is called Soma principle. Rishis explained this using a very simple example. So the radiations from the sun are very intense. So it is the Agni principle. And the same radiations, when they come to the earth after being reflected off the moon, becomes the Soma principle. Even though it is the same radiation still coming from the moon also, the radiation has been dispersed, and it's no longer so intense. And so Soma principle is often associated with the moon, and Agni principle is often associated with the sun. So this is the basis for it. The nakshatra system, since Soma and Agni are placed right next to Prajapati, the Rishi intends to convey something important related to the relationship between Prajapati, Agni and Soma. And let's look at it from the angle of inflation cosmology. Cosmologists say that the universe began as a very tiny bubble of vacuum, and within that vacuum there was special energy which started inflating. Within less than a nanosecond, the bubble had inflated to such a level that the energy within it became quarks or subatomic particles. The energy is still very intense. After 20 seconds of inflation, the energy had cooled sufficiently that it was able to form nuclei, electrons and photons. But at this point, the universe was still in the plasma phase. The Nasadiya Suktam of the Rig Veda talks about the universe being in a fluid form, primordial fluid. The scientists talk about the universe being in the plasma form. And the Nasadiya Suktam in the second verse also talks about something similar to the inflation. It says, consciousness inhaled without inhaling air. So this is the same idea as what inflation cosmologists call as the universal inflation. The Nasadiya Suktam in the fourth verse proceeds to talk about the separation of radiation from matter, separation of consciousness from matter. And we see in inflation cosmology, it took 380,000 to 390,000 years since the initial nucleation bubble began for atoms to form. Helium and hydrogen atoms formed about 390,000 years after the universe began. And we see that the Soma principle had taken over the universe at that point. It took nearly 300 million years for the Agni principle to come back again. And when the Agni principle came back again, the stars in the universe began forming. The Nasadiya Suktam calls this as the phase of diversity, when the universe of diversity began to form around that time.